punt, and then the Trojans will run the clock out, and that's the way the first half will come to a close, with the Carrollton Trojans on top over East Rome, 13-0. We'll be back with some messages and also a look at the course of the Carrollton High School Band, and then the second half highlights. But first, this break. So you did have that 13-0 lead going at halftime. You fumbled the ball twice on your last 3 possessions of the first half, and that wasn't exactly the kind of momentum you'd want to take in.
Well, I thought that this is what I was referring to when we got the breaks. We should have been going in and getting that 3rd touchdown, yet we fumbled away. Fumbling is sort of a strange thing. Some backs just fumble more than others, and it's more likely a lack of concentration, tucking the ball, keeping it covered on both ends. And I know Stegall dropped another in the second half, just running along, dropped the ball. But you really backs who fumble a lot, just not, they're can't play. You can't afford to run a back in critical situations if you think he's going to fumble. You got to have those guys that handle the ball well, and if you drop it, then you're just going to lose it and going to lose the ball game and fumbling. We found it out at Villa Rica. Even though your defense had a shutout going in the first half, East Rome still was able to move the ball, especially on the ground, and that probably had to concern you at halftime. Again, we because of our size, and we just had need about 2 tackles about like that number 72 that they had would really help our defense a lot. We're just small, and we're having to stun a lot, do a lot of things that we can't do. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong when you're stunning. And I don't know of a way to get better. We can't get bigger between now and the time we play the next ball game. So we're just going to have to. I think our boys learned to play tough in that 3rd quarter and 4th quarter. We either had to get tough or we was going to get beat, and they wound up playing pretty good defense in the latter part of the 3rd and the early part of the 4th quarter, and then our offense took the ball and drove it in for the winning touchdown. And I thought that was a lot of character. Sometimes our fellows, I don't think, didn't know how hard you had to play to win, and you got to learn that. It's a thing that every team has to learn. It's not going to be easy, and when it gets tight, is when you got to really stick your chin out. I mean, go to it on offense and defense. And I felt that it helped our football team to get in a ball game like this, because we're going to get in several more where it's just going to take a lot of more than you got sometimes. Just reach down and play just as tough as you possibly can, and a little bit. Almost behind you. You have the 19-12 victory on the scoreboard. But coming up this Friday night at Grisham Stadium could be one of the largest crowds ever to see a high school game in this area, when the Central High School Lions of Coach Ronnie Birchfield come calling at Grisham Stadium. They are, of course, unbeaten. They knocked off the Trojans last year. They're riding high, and a lot of people are going to be there, and I'm sure a great percentage of them are going to be saying the Trojans maybe not have much of a chance against Central High School. Well, I hope we have some sort of chance before we kick it off anyway. Of course, Central has a good ball club. They have a lot of good skilled people, and they've been moving the ball well on everybody they've played. This is the thing that concerns me, that you know, if we're going to stop them, we've got to do 2 things, I think. We've got to play better defense, a real good defensive game, and then we've got to play enough offense where we can keep the ball and not let them have it. If we not make any mistakes on offense. Yeah, you can't make mistakes, but more than that, you got to keep the ball away from them, and hopefully in that process drive it and score. If you're going to keep it long, you got to move it, change. So this is a real key to it. We've got to move it, keep the football possession, and not let's try to get them not to have the snaps. I think a game similar to that Northwest Whitfield last year, where they had a quarterback with 3,000 yards throwing, and we wouldn't let them have the ball. And that'd be more easier said than done, because they have a good defense too, so they'll be wanting to take it away from us. But this is going to be a good one. They've done a good job, and they've got good people, and of course we're just trying to play who's going to win. I hope that we can play a decent ball game. Our kids will be ready, I promise. So it should be a great matchup this coming Friday night at Grisham Stadium, when the Trojans take on their crosstown rivals, the Central High School Lions. As we close out tonight's Charlie Grisham show, we thought you might like to see some of the scenes on the sideline from this past Friday night's game up at Rome against the East Rome Gladiators, and also some of the post-game celebration out on the field and back in Carrollton in commemoration of Charlie Grisham's very fine 250th victory as the head coach of the Carrollton High School Trojans. So sit back and relax and enjoy these closing highlights.
There as the Trojans stop it up for no gain. Second and goal from the 5. Just under 10 minutes, as you see in the ball game remaining. Second and goal from the 5. Askew takes the pitch, cuts back in, and gets 4 yards to the 1.
You gotta play tougher than that right at the point of attack. Stacy Crowder made a good play from right guard on that one.
It's a third down play from the 1. Spivey, number 24, takes the pitch. Same play. Different ball carrier, and he goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Now Eastrom, of course, forced to go for 2 points. And watch number 85 right there as he comes roaring through and drops the quarterback just as he gets the ball off, and Uran comes over and tips it anyway.
Now that was a terrific play. They had 2 flankers and a wingback on that side, receivers, and I knew they were going to throw to that receiver at wingback, and our linebacker normally would cover him. We had a run through by the left linebacker going through, and Uran came from right linebacker that far. Of course, Rob had interfered with a passer they would have scored on, but Uran made a terrific play on that thing.
So the score remains 13-12, and Charlie, things have tightened up considerably. Well, we've got plenty of time left, 9 minutes to go.
Well, again, we had the ball game well in hand. We should have scored some more. We got old Prothers here. They were supposed to go over to the right and decided he'd just go up the middle where it looked good, covered the ball up well. He'd had 1 fumble, and he did a good job bringing the thing up to about the 45 or so. Now
the pressure's on your offense. Your offense really has to fish or cut bait now.
Yeah, we got to. You at 1 point ahead, you got a chance to get beat on any one big play. They got the backs that can score and the quarterback can throw it, so we need to really move it in there.
Stegall gets a good hole and cuts back upfield and gets 16 yards on the play. That time he followed his blocking well and went to the hole.
Made a good run on it.
16 yards on that play and a first down to get this drive going. Ball on the 46-yard line. Stegall hands off to McClure. He gets 5 yards to the 41.
Well, McClure had a good ball game. We probably didn't run him enough. He got about a 5-yard average running the traps inside the tackle, and we might not have run him enough. One thing, Dan, you can see from film and television, we're not getting enough of the ball on the left side. Look at the distance on the left side. We're not getting up there close enough, which gives the defense an advantage.
Stegall turns the corner and goes 9 yards on this play and picks up a first down to the 32. In the ball game, the Trojans with 237 yards rushing. East Rome had 213. East Rome 15 first downs, Carrollton with 10. And a little mix up here, and it's finally Rob Cleveland's going to get tired of waiting. He's going to jump off sides.
Should have called timeout. Anytime you get in that situation, you got everything busted, you ought to call timeout immediately.
Now this is what happened on that other drive when we had a bad penalty down close.
Yeah, you just can't, you sit there and your concentration, you repeat the snap count, concentration, you lose it. And
First and 15, the play. Musselwhite, little or no yardage. They give him about 2, I suppose. 37-yard line to the 35.
We had probably some poor play selection here, 15 yards. We probably should have gone ahead and tried to throw the ball 3 times.
Stegall with the ball. He really cuts it back up in there. Shows good acceleration. 7 yards down to the 28.
And that's an option. He really should have unloaded that thing. McClure could have gone on then. He wasn't anybody out there with him.
All right, it's third down, 3rd and 6. And this will be the clincher on this play coming up for the Carrollton Trojans. Watch number 20 in the backfield. Fakes it, gets a hole, and he is off to the races. 28 yards on the play, and we will show you that scoring play once more.
We didn't block that thing as good as I thought we did. John did a good job. He jumped. I think he jumped over the block. The guy that we blocked, right on the line of scrimmage, and did a good job hitting the outside, put it in the end zone. Of course, this is not the end of all, but it's a lot better than being 1 point ahead, I'll say that.
That was a 62-yard drive for the Trojans on 6 plays, culminated by that 28-yard scoring run by one of your captains, John Driver. And that's the way the ball game will end. Score-wise, there's still about 6 minutes left, with the Carrollton Trojans on top 19-12. Going over some of the statistics, total offense in the ball game, 246 yards for East Rome, 265 for the Carrollton Trojans. Trojans penalized 6 times for 40 yards, East Rome 4 times for 20 yards. There were a total of 6 fumbles in the ball game, 3 by each team, but East Rome also had 2 interceptions, so they had a total of 5 turnovers in the ball game. Individually, Driver with 13 carries, 74 yards. Stegall, 7 carries, 61 yards. Musselwhite, 10 carries for 43 yards. McClure handled the ball 6 times, picked up 21 yards, and Poitras ran for 36 yards on 4 attempts. So the Trojans win it 19-12. We'll be back with Coach Grisham's closing comments on this ball game, and they look toward the Central High School Lions coming up this Friday night at Grisham Stadium. But first, these messages.
I got my stereo out of town. Tuner, turntable, digital disc, equalizer, pick some woofer.
Catch 22 or catch hometown customer service at Gemini Audio Video.
My new TV has 169 channels, stereo rating, component speakers, tuner, remote control, VCR input, computer input. I got it in the big city. I got a good deal. I got a home. I can't get it to work.
At Gemini, catch up on state-of-the-art audio and video. Catch great deals. Catch our hometown customer service. Catch everything except...
Catch cold. Good call. Catch.
Catch big city selections at a hometown price and catch hometown customer service at Gemini Audio Video.
Every time you call, we make a fresh pizza just for you. Free delivery to your door in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed.
Domino's Pizza delivers. Domino's Pizza delivers. Domino's Pizza delivers.
Charlie, we made reference to it earlier, but it keeps coming back. The fact that your team lost the big lead and then led by only 1 as East Rome controlled most of the third quarter and early the fourth quarter. But yet at that, your team, you might say, reached down and came back and had that long 62-yard drive when it had to put the game out of reach.
You know, the thing that killed us, we had gotten down there earlier and didn't score I think in the third quarter.
Right, you turned it over on downs on the 29.
Turned the ball over. We had 2 chances, one in the first half, one in the second half, to really put the ball game out of reach. And this was where we should have gone. We won the ball game. We shouldn't have gotten this mess of being 1 point ahead. We should have been ahead.
Let's talk about some of the statistical leaders in the ball game for you. John Driver had 72 yards in the ball game on 13 carries. He ran for 2 touchdowns, threw another one. Then Clarence Stegall, who did very little in the first half, had only about 5 yards, got about 50 or 60 yards in the second half of play.
You know, we're real pleased with our backfield play. Craig Musselwhite's running the ball much better than he's ever run the ball all last year. He's running tough inside. Has just doing a super job. Of course, John Driver is an excellent ball player, and McClure at fullback. We've got 3 good running backs. Stegall has played some off and on, and he's a guy who has lots of speed and lots of quickness, and a guy who probably more than the others might be one who could break a long touchdown. We played him a lot, and we got to have that back that can rest Musselwhite and Driver because they play offense and defense, and Clarence is a guy that we needed in there and to get some experience. Again, he's prone to fumble, and if he can quit that, he's a good back. He hits the hold hard and very quick.
All right, now East Rome is behind you. You have the 19-12 victory on the scoreboard. But coming up this Friday night at Grisham Stadium could be one of the largest crowds ever to see a high school game in this area. When the Central High School Lions of Coach Ronnie Birchfield come calling at Grisham Stadium. They are, of course, unbeaten. They knocked off the Trojans last year. They're riding high. And a lot of people are going to be there, and I'm sure a great percentage of them are going to be saying the Trojans maybe not have much